Ladies and gentlemen, Cowboys Nation, buckle up, because the rumble is getting louder. The urgency is rising, and the Dallas Cowboys are on the verge of making a move that could flip the script on this entire season. This is Dallas Game Day, and what we're about to dive into could be the start of something big, and I mean franchise-defining big. Now let's not sugarcoat it. Right now, we're sitting at 3-3-1. It's not dominance, but it's hope. It's opportunity. It's right there in front of us. And guess what? Our offense is exploding. Through 7 weeks, we're ranked number 1 in total yards across the entire league. Dak is firing. The weapons are flying. This unit is cooking. But here's the problem, and it's a glaring one. Our defense is getting torched. We're dead last in yards allowed, 30th in scoring. Teams aren't just moving the ball, they're doing it at will. The gap between our offense and defense is massive, and unless that gap closes, this team won't be playing deep into January. But here's the good news, and Cowboys fans, listen to me right now. Jerry Jones is listening. He's watching, and he's reportedly ready to do something about it. According to NFL insider Adam Schefter, the Cowboys are actively having conversations right now about defensive reinforcements before the trade deadline. Not just browsing, not just daydreaming, real talks. Schefter himself said he wouldn't be surprised at all if Dallas pulls the trigger on a move. And why does that matter? Because for years, we've watched this front office sit on its hands. We've watched opportunities pass us by. But this season, this is different. Jerry said himself at the NFL owners' meetings, we're in as good a shape as we ever been to improve our team. That's not fluff. That's not media training. That's intent. And get this, with every GM, coach, and owner in one place this week, Jerry even admitted something could easily come together. This isn't off in the distance. It could happen this week. It could happen right now. Let's talk strategy. The Cowboys gave up Micah Parsons right before the season, and no matter how you felt about that move, you've seen the results. Losing a player of his caliber without an equal replacement has crippled this defense. And now, Jerry knows we need to patch that hole or watch our offensive greatness go to waste. So, who are the targets? There's buzz around edge rushers, game wreckers, playmakers. We've already seen reports connecting Dallas to Maxx Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, Jeffrey Simmons, names that shake quarterbacks and control the trenches. And those are exactly the kinds of players we need. But this isn't just about any one name. This is about what it means. It means the Cowboys are saying, enough is enough. No more giving up 400-yard games, no more folding in the red zone, no more watching the offense build a lead only for the defense to surrender it. This team has a shot, but only if it balances the scales. You don't need the 2000 Ravens defense. You just need enough stops to let the offense finish the job. That's what this trade window is about. And to the doubters out there saying, Dallas doesn't make moves like this, you're right. That's what makes this moment even more special. Because if the Jones family does pull off a blockbuster, it means they're not playing it safe. It means they're going all in on 2025. It means they believe this team is close. And frankly, so do I. This offense is championship caliber. Add even just one key piece on defense, and we're no longer in the maybe category. We're in the look out conversation. We're in the we might ruin your season tier. We become a real threat. So here's what I want to say to Cowboys Nation. Get loud. Stay locked in. This is the time to be vocal. This is the time to stand behind this team and demand greatness. Because this roster, with the right tweak, the right player, could take off. And you want to be able to say you were here when the switch flipped. If you're feeling the energy, if you're watching this like I am, hoping Jerry makes that call, hoping this defense gets the help it needs, then drop your takes in the comments. Who should we go after? Who would you target? Do we give up a first-round pick for an elite pass rusher, or do we hold back and hope the guys we've got turn it around? And most importantly, if you're riding with us through every rumor, every trade, every fourth quarter comeback, then smash that like button. Subscribe to Dallas Game Day right now because we're bringing the fire every single week. The trade deadline is just around the corner. Moves are coming. The clock is ticking. And the Dallas Cowboys, they're not just watching, they're ready to strike. Let's ride, let's believe, and let's finish this season the way Cowboys Nation deserves. This is Dallas Game Day, and we're just getting started.